expended. Town departments met to discuss funding priorities, develop project priorities, and discuss collaboration possibilities. A similar process that we would undertake for the capital improvement program, with the only caveat that we had to apply the ARPA guidelines. The funding recommendations that I'm going to walk through tonight are aligned with either the town manager or select board adopted or proposed goals, or continue the town's continued and long-term response to the pandemic.
This ARPA funding is not a checkbook for the town manager's goals. It is a checkbook for the residents and the businesses of Andover to promote recovery from the pandemic. There needs to be more transparency, inclusiveness, public input as to how we should use these funds. We are asking for ideals for the town seal, but did not even offer an opportunity for input on ARPA funds. Disappointed and disgusted. Sorry.
Okay, I am going to invite the town manager to respond to your comments.
We didn't do a survey. I would say we took a deeper dive than that. And I think the plan that was approved by the select board is going to go a long way to meeting not only the most acute and critical needs of this community, but have long-term lasting impacts that benefit all the residents of Andover.
I have a question. Why weren't the residents asked, like all our neighboring towns that you compare us to, why weren't we asked, what do you want to do with the money? We pay the taxes. I honestly feel, I apologize, but I feel like the choices were selfish.
We didn't do a survey, but we talked to a lot of residents and a lot of businesses.
Why didn't you put a website up, that flash thing that we just saw today with the town seal? Why wasn't that done?
We don't do that for everything that comes before the board. But like I said, we talked to a lot of residents, we talked to a lot of businesses, and the funds that are being recommended in many cases support things that were already approved by town meetings. So there's no greater sense of community support for something than to supplement the funding that's already been in place and approved by town meeting. That was part of our rationale.
Okay, so the public engagement, so has this happened yet or no?
So,
Because at the last, I'll let you finish, go first.
so we've engaged the public in all those blue squares, or rectangles. We've had 4 public meetings on ARPA at this point. The select board and town manager adopted goals process was 3 public meetings. We have a whole lot of data from the UMass resident survey, which again was a point in time, and it was scientifically conducted by UMass. And then various other sources of information that are used to inform some decisions. But I don't want to ignore the department division head feedback piece, because they have the deepest understanding of the needs of the demographics they serve, bar none.
What was the UMass project? Can you explain what that was?
So we did a resident survey. We had done it back in 2013. We did it again in 2019. It was a scientifically conducted survey to look at what the town priorities were, what people are most interested in, what are the areas for improvement, highest levels of satisfaction. Very similar to what North Andover is doing now.
So when did the pandemic start?
It was definitely, I said, a point in time before the pandemic.
Before the pandemic, right. So how can we consider that accurate, on the ground resident survey?